Hello friends, it's Isabel from Blue Sapphire here. So this morning I posted up a video I made over the weekend with some ramblings and talking about some of the new decks I had come in. And one of the decks that I've just got recently is my pre-order of the Oracle of Echoes 2nd edition by Anatorian. And I figured I'd do a flip through. Have a look at some of the cards with you. So I've got it here. So it was just very simply packed, and it was in tissue paper and bubble wrap with a thank you card. It's in a tuck box, so it's unfortunately the tuck box has taken a bit of a battering on the way here, which is a bit of a shame, or before it arrived. I'm also a bit frustrated because there seems to be a little bit of a warp in the cards, so I'm just going to have to see if I can get that to fix itself at some point. So I'm a bit upset about that, but I kind of figure there's not, it's one of those, there's not a lot I can do to change that, but it is quite noticeable because having flipped through a few of the cards, I don't know if you I can't hold the cards today. Right, I've put a cloth on my table that is not going to stay where I've put it. This was just such a bad plan, but I don't know if you can see the warp on those, but they ain't straight, so I'm a bit disappointed in that, to be honest. So I'm going to have to see if I can straighten those out. It's a real shame because it's such a nice deck, but I'm hoping that I can kind of make them, and I don't think it's going to be a massive issue. We shall see. So anyway, these are fairly standard size. They're really nice. They're quite shiny and slippery, so they're moving around all over the place, which I'm actually finding really irritating, to be honest. But I suppose that depends. They're not like really glossy. So here's the backs of these cards. So you've got these beautiful colours. I think they're not reversible and such. The colours are different at the top and the bottom, but also it's such a neutral kind of picture and a beautiful picture that I don't think that that's going to matter too much. It comes with a title card with this beautiful picture on. Oracle of Echoes 2nd edition, and this beautiful kind of archer on. And then you've got the tuck box. Now, Anna has provided a PDF guidebook, and I've actually ended up printing it off. Unfortunately, what she's done is put a single card and a paragraph on each page. So I don't know if you can see, what I ended up doing was printing it with 4 pages to a sheet, which I'm okay because I can read that, but somebody else might find that a bit small. And I'm kind of wishing I hadn't, because actually I could have cut them up and put them in another book. But if you do print it off yourself, it would be a heck of a lot of paper. It might, it's kind of a shame really, because it's obviously the sizing and it's American. It's probably my fault. I should have pressed something else in the printer. So at some point I might try and do it again. But yeah, so there is a copy which a lot of people won't use, and I think for some of the cards I don't need it. But when I had a quick look through the other day and I started flicking through, there were a couple of the cards that I couldn't quite get my head around, like what her intention was with them. So I thought this would be quite useful to have to hand. So we might have a look at some of the cards with that, and look, they've already fallen over again. So what I thought I'd do is just go through the cards with you, sort of highlight some of the things I've seen so far that I really like. Okay folks, apologies, having a bit of a nightmare. So as you can see, I've removed the cloth and I'm now on my table with this thing, which I apologise, it's a bit mucky, but the cloth was just causing the cards to flop everywhere. So Oracle of Echoes. So this first card is called Trust, and in this card you can see the person holding a heart, and there's going to be a lot of emotion. I love the way these words are integrated into the cards. It's really beautiful to me, that I can just look at the card, the picture pops out, and I can find the word as well. Holding your heart in their hands. Wow, okay. Vulnerability. So in this card we've got a character in an egg shell that's broken. trapped. I think it's going to be really nice that you can kind of put them in a spread, you know, or you can do a pull. But also I think you could actually pick a card and say, right, today this is how I'm feeling, and look at it and meditate on it. So you can almost choose the card based on how you're feeling rather than the card telling you the problem. Transformation, this is beautiful. You've got this transverse flower. The colours, I love the fact the colours are kind of muted but have a vibrancy to them. This one's called Time to Soar. It's really pretty birds on here. This one's called The Spinner. So I don't know how much you can see. I'm not going to touch the camera and zoom in, but there's an hourglass, there's a spinning wheel. This almost looks like a phoenix here, but with web, and there's web. So there's all sorts in this card. Let's have a look and see if I can find it. I think the deck's in reverse alphabetical order, so we're going backwards. The spinner arrives to bring major changes in your life. She binds and weaves the threads of time and space, destiny and chance. She holds both the hourglass and the wheel of life. She spins life strands and calls on you to prepare. For better or worse, things are about to get interesting. What was once up may possibly come down, and what was down could quickly come up. Regardless of its direction, this card comes with an active force of change. While it is not always comfortable, it is necessary to evolve and learn. Okay, so yeah, spinning the threads of time, that's really cool. Okay, so this one's called The Moon. It's pretty, isn't it? The Lovers. I love with the Lovers this kind of how they're sort of intertwined here, and there's a sense of these two characters having some kind of male and female form, but at the same time you could kind of go, well, actually they're almost a bit androgynous to a certain extent. I mean, I can distinguish almost the two, but the Crone, I love this card. This card reminds me of the Empress in the Gill Tarot. You've got the earth, the nature, the, you know, Mother Earth feel to this one. The ancestors. It's almost like the roots of a tree coming through, and your time and your past is your roots. This is where you come from. This is where you evolve to. Symbiosis. This is another one that I'm not sure about. Let's have a look what she writes about symbiosis and see. Two souls, male and female, yin and yang. So they're not necessarily, they're a bit androgynous, but flow and unite in the guise of an infinity symbol. Of course, yes. Okay. Through the balance of opposing forces, harmony and peace are achieved. Okay. Interesting. Spirit Heals. I love this one. Some of my work, if I haven't, I've said in other videos that with a Christian background, I still am a practicing Christian. And to me, these cards are about talking to God as well, and talking to him. And for here, like the Crone, it's talking about the earth he's created and how we nurture it and we look after it and we're the guardians. To me, this is like saying God is here, he's holding me, he's got me in his arms, and he will heal me. So you could do it that way. Not everybody will, and I accept that that might be a view that people don't share, but to me, that really speaks like that. I really love that card. And again, Spirit Guides. Some interesting portrayals in that one. It's quite a dark card, actually. There's a bit of shadow going on there, I think. I'm interested to hear what other people think of that card. Sorrow. How simple is that? Just look at the tears. And yet there's a lightness to the colour that says that out of sorrow can come something magical. Shadow Self. Reaching up in the middle here. Sever. This one's quite powerful, I think, as well. Something's holding you down, something's got you attached. Are you going to cut those cords that bind you? Serenity, peace, calm. Self-sabotage. I think it's interesting you've got the infinity symbol here again as well, so I'll see what she says about that later. Self-involved. What's interesting is that that kind of reflects a couple of the other cards where we had that Spirit Speaks card. Let me just, Spirit Guides. Look, you've got that reflection almost of the same colours here. I can just put that there. Can you see the same kind of colours and the same sense of circle and person there? So it'd be interesting to see the crossover in that and They seem to work together a little bit. Rest. Reflection. This one's kind of a bit strange because there's eyes here and then you've got this other head. It's a bit shadowy, a bit dark as well. Are you reflecting in on yourself? You're seeing what's going on and you're bringing it out. Protection. Again, that spirit is protecting you and holding you. Maybe there's something dark going on you need protecting from. New horizons. Look at the sun. You could have that as a sun card, couldn't you? Loss. Look within. So this kind of sense of an eye, and you're going right in, spiraling inwards. Look to nature. There's our tree. And look, there's just a tiny little lizard at the side there. Listen. This is interesting. I need to read more about this because I've seen this portrayed in a couple of tarot cards as well, the idea of this here. So I need to see what you know, where that kind of comes from. Limitless. You're not bound. You can sever yourself from those roots. Sky is your limit. Let go. I do like the way she's done the cards because as soon as I turn a card over I just see the picture and I look at it and then I find the word and see. So with this one you can see the third eye, you can see this kind of almost magician portrayal, intuition. Here we've got inner strength. You've got your lion. I love how some of these cards kind of reflect, you know, some of the tarot as well, in the sense, so, you know, if you've got the strength card in the tarot, often uses something like a lion. So it's almost like a crossover there. Inner child. Imperfect beauty. This one's interesting. So this person's sort of almost got a slight curve to their spine. They've got a little bird here. Hope. Home. Healing. Look at that. Out of the darkness comes the roots and the flower. Goddess speaks. God speaks. Interesting that you got God and Goddess. Fear. Look at that. The fear, the clawing of the back. So there's a person there. There's a snake. Father Time. You are old, Father Time. Discord. We're arguing. Tree is not very happy. Oh, it's in an apple as well, so a little bit of Christian reference to Adam and Eve there. Wow, okay. Depression. Yeah, that's how I feel sometimes. I can't. I need to curl up in a ball and I need to start again. Decisions, which way to go, which pathway to take. There's a little bird on the tree. It's quite dark. It might be quite a difficult thing to do. Deceit are the things that we need to look at. Death. Death but rebirth. Look, it's like a cocoon, isn't it? That's quite cool. Yeah, no, I like that. I'm going to read a bit more about that one as well. Creativity, the colours, the vibrancy, how beautiful. The dance, the flowing. Create space. That's what I flipping well need to do, guys. I know that. Courage. Ah, so there's our Archer from the title card. Yes, you can see the set of the eyes. Anyone's seen the film Brave? That's kind of that. Chaos. Yeah, see, that's my head. So here you can see a person, and sometimes this is what my head feels like, because I have generalized anxiety, which just causes my brain to explode, really. So yeah, the chaos, the storm, Breakthrough. Look, it's like diving through. How cool is that? I love how these colour palettes cross over. I'm going to see which cards match up and stuff. That's going to be quite cool. It's the first time I've really found an oracle deck where I feel like this and I'm intuitively connecting to the words and the cards. I've got some lovely decks like that I really love, but you know, this is inside. This is our heads, this is our emotion, this is our intuition that can use these. I think what's interesting is like it's very similar kind of concept to some other cards that a lot of people have, but that don't have titles. I think I still need the titles to understand them, but I could also see that I'd look at this and gain something from it without. So this one's called Boundaries, but maybe this is like a cliff face. Is it a boundary? Is it a limit that I'm putting in place? Could I be diving in? Breakthrough? Could I be limitless? I don't know where that card is now, but you know. I certainly could see, as I said before, that you know, you could choose, you could say, like, I know I've got limiting beliefs and work through. I'll come back to that in a minute. Beyond the Veil. Kids and I have been listening to Harry Potter, to the Order of the Phoenix, and anyone who doesn't know, in that there's the talk of this veil, and when a character falls through the veil, they die and they go, which is quite powerful. Balance. There's a sun and a moon, and we're yin and yanging again. Awaken, Inner Force. This is one of my favourite cards. I love dragons, are so cool. And just this dragon coming out. This is, I've got this inner force, I've got this power. I just need to find it. Abundance. Guys, these cards are really beautiful. If you don't have this, I think this is, and this is going to be a lovely deck. A warning. So you've got a skull here, a bird, a crow or a raven. A journey. A gift. Honesty. And silver lining. But yeah, what I was saying before was that, you know, I could see, this is beautiful. These cards are all gorgeous. My understanding is that some of the cards are different to the first edition, or there's some extra cards. But I could definitely see, so, you know, if you think, you kind of think to yourself, right, I've got some limiting beliefs at the moment. I'm putting boundaries in place. What can I do? You could kind of say to yourself, well, what is it? Are my limiting beliefs making me trapped? How am I going to get out of those? Do I need to look within and see? Or, you know, do I need to look to the spirit, or do I need to look to nature? And you could start building yourself a picture. So you don't even need to shuffle and pull the cards. I think with these, you could kind of go, right, what's challenging me today? What am I feeling? And you could pick one, and you could just sit and say, right, okay. Like the other day, I was really struggling, and I went for a walk, and I put my phone away, and I listened, and I looked, and I watched, and just, what could I hear? What could I see? What was nature telling me? What was important to me? You know, and you could pull it as a card, but as a daily card pull, you could put it with your tarot. I also just like the idea of going, what do I need help with? Actually identifying it and then using the cards to make me think. But this is a beautiful, beautiful set. I'm so pleased that I took the plunge and got this. I know that there's talk of a tarot of echoes, which, having got this, I'm definitely going to be getting that, however much. But I do hope you've enjoyed looking through with me. If you've got the deck, tell me how you're working with it. I'm kind of all ears for, or what you think of any of the cards. You know, it might be nice to kind of reflect on them together, maybe, and see, you know, we'll look for what favourite cards, which cards, or how people are using them. But yeah, do let me know what you think, and I hope that you've enjoyed just looking through these cards with me. Until the next time, take care. Bye folks.